Hi, everybody, and welcome to First Draft with Mel, Kiper, and Field. Yates. I am Greeny. We're with you twice a week, every week through the draft process and once a week during the football season. What I'm trying to tell you is that we have been at this since the beginning of September, and the day is finally here as we are arrived at round one of the National Football League draft from Green Bay on this Thursday night, and then on into rounds 2 and 3 on Friday, and then on through the rest on Saturday, where these NFL teams are built. We're with you generally on the NFL on ESPN YouTube channel, ESPN2, and wherever you get your podcasts. So with it being draft night, we are going to do a special edition of this podcast here just to get you ready, just to give you a little taste before we all come on TV tonight. So with draft night here, we have run through over 10 mock drafts since September, constructed by you two gentlemen, Mel and Field, and we have tried to put together some of the consensus. So, Mel, outside of the top 3, what is the team-to-player pairing that you feel most confident will happen this weekend?
I want to take a shot and go all the way down to pick number 20, the Denver Broncos. Because in mock 3.0 last year, I had Denver taking Bo Nix, and I was talked out of it. Now I'm saying I'm going to go back to Denver. I want to say Sean Payton with Bo Nix. You need a running back. You want to take your quarterback to the next level, you need a running back, and a complete running back. And that's what Amarian Hampton from North Carolina is. I think a lot of people out there have underrated this kid. I had a conversation with a GM this weekend, said, hey, Amarian Hampton's right there with Ginty. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. He's right there. Heck of a back, right? Outstanding football player. 2 years in a row. Great productivity. Guess what? He didn't have Drake May both years. He had Drake May 1 year and outproduced what he had the previous year this year. The bottom line is catching the ball, blocking, game-breaking ability, and run tough between the tackles. And when you get it done with a quarterback situation, was anything but great at North Carolina with Drake May moving on to the Patriots, and your productivity goes up. That speaks volumes about a dependable, durable, tough, complete running back. Denver, are you kidding me? With Bo Nix, they get a guy like this at pick number 20, assuming Dallas passes on the running back at pick number 12, and he gets there at 20. He's going to be in that top 14, 15. He's been as high as number 10. Final ratings will be out coming up. You'll see him right now on ESPN.com. Take a look at where Amarian Hampton is on that board. Guess what? He's way inside of 20 on the board. So inside of 20, you're picking 20. That's exactly what you want.
That was going to be my question is, do we expect him still to be sitting there? In the early stages of this draft process, I saw Mel, and I believe it was you. We were talking about Ashton Ginty at 12 to the Cowboys, and Hampton still being available well after that. Most of the consensus seems to have moved with Ginty going much earlier, maybe 6 to the Raiders, and thus maybe the Cowboys or someone else taking Hampton in that space between 6 and 20. Field, do you think for Mel's pick to come true here, do you think Hampton is still on the board at 20, or would the Broncos have to move up to get him?
No, I think he'll be on the board at number 20. It'll be very interesting if the Broncos don't take Amarian Hampton, how far he falls from there. The Chargers at 22 would certainly be a team to monitor as well. Beyond that, I'm not so sure there is a team in the back end of the first round that is specifically in the running back market right now. But back-to-back seasons that Mel mentioned were just terrific for Amarian Hampton. He's number 26 on my big board, so I'm a little bit lower on him than Mel has been throughout the process. But still, a very, very, very impressive young running back who is the clear-cut number 2 amongst the backs in this year's very deep class.
So you two may not agree on him, but I think you will agree on this, Field. Zach Cohen tweets at us, the Broncos drafting Amarian Hampton could give him a path to a great uniform career, and I think we can all agree about that. You like that one, Field?
That is terrific right there, especially if the Broncos go back to the Orange Crush jerseys, which would be very fitting for this podcast with our Orange Crusher subject that we often discuss on the show. But North Carolina, that Carolina blue is as good as it gets at the collegiate level.
Absolutely, and the Broncos...
It's beautiful.
Mel, I don't mean to sidetrack us. I promise I'll just leave us here for 1 minute. But it is my belief that every single team should go back to the uniforms they used to wear every time. Not the old ones. But whenever they break out the teams, the throwbacks from the 70s and the 80s, my reaction every single time, Mel, is they should be wearing that all the time instead.
You become a fan because of uniforms and helmets. I did with the LA Rams back in the day, with Roman Gabriel and Jack Snow and the fearsome foursome, Myron Padios, Les Josephson. I can go on and on. I can waste an hour on this. But the LA Rams and that great uniform, which we're not seeing right now out in LA, by the way. The Rams uniform back in the day with Roman Gabriel is the one I love. So I'm with you, Greeny, 1,000%.
The old Patriot uniform, the old Broncos uniform, the creamsicle uniforms of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I could go on and on. All right, I got another social tee up here for you, Field, and this will take you to your player as we're asking you for the team-to-player pairing you feel most comfortable with. Pete tweets at us, Mike Green is the only edge not named Abdul Carter worthy of a top 15 pick. So, Field, do you agree with that? And where do you see Mike Green going?
I don't think he is the only edge that is worthy of a top 15 pick, but I do think he goes 15th overall to the Atlanta Falcons, who just this past season had the second fewest sacks in all of the NFL. Only the Patriots had fewer. Atlanta did sign Leonard Floyd, and they should get Braylon Trice, their third-round pick out of Washington last year, back after a season-ending injury suffered in preseason. That being said, Mike Green in this pass rush still needs some help. Mike Green would provide that. We've talked about this plenty. He led the FBS in sacks this past season, had this breakout final year at Marshall. He had 2 games against those schools that you would qualify as legit competition, Ohio State and Virginia Tech. Well, against Ohio State, he had a sack on this beautiful, nasty spin move opposite of Ohio State's right tackle. And then against Virginia Tech, he had 9 pressures in one game against a team that surely knew going into the game what we need to do more than anything else on offense is find a way to slow down that player. So Mike Green, to me, has a vast arsenal of pass rush moves to get around offensive tackles and even get through them as well. Doesn't have premier arm length. He's only 251 pounds, but I still believe he goes somewhere in the first round, the most likely landing spot being the Falcons at number 15.
So, Mel.
Michael Williams, guys. Michael Williams from Georgia is going to be in that mix as well. And I'll tell you what, Donovan Ezeraku, Field, you brought him up from Boston College. Loved him all year. He's phenomenal. And I'll tell you, Olufemi Oladejo from UCLA is going to be in that late first, early second round mix as well. So there's going to be pass rush. And I'll tell you what, when you get into the second round, I'll tell you a guy that's red hot. And I love the motor. And I love the way he played throughout his career is Ashton Gelati from Louisville.
Ooh, and Jalen Walker. I mean, I don't want to start, yelling at the tweets. We appreciate all the reaction. But, Mel, I don't know. Let's put Abdul Carter out of the conversation here. Is Mike Green the next best pass rusher in this class? It doesn't feel to me like he's being mocked that way almost anywhere. I've got Jalen Walker, Mel, on pretty much every mock draft I have seen going ahead of him.
Right. Jalen's an off-ball edge. He's that combo guy.
Like a combo.
Coming off the edge or playing him off-ball. But I think when you look at what we're talking about with a Michael Williams outside, a Mike Green outside, you know what you're getting. You're getting an edge rusher who has some length to him with Michael, and certainly a guy that's certainly with Mike Green. You talk about Donovan Ezeraku and all those guys. You know what you're getting. Donovan Ezeraku, at worst, Field is a great situational pass rusher. Yes. How we handle the run is going to be something you have to work on, and you have to wait and see. We know Michael Williams can play the run. Will he be a dynamic pass rusher? We have to wait and see on that. Mike Green, to me, coming out of Marshall, deserves to be, based on what we saw on tape, no later than the mid-first round pick. Does it get into the late first round? If he does, he's going to be really interesting at that point because there's some teams that are big-time teams, Super Bowl contenders, that could use a Mike Green as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see. I agree 1,000%. There's no question if you do true edge rushers after Abdul Carter, the best true edge rusher in this draft is Mike Green.
Okay, fair enough. And then one more thing for us to show you. We were just talking about the great unis. We were just talking about the great helmets. We were just talking about the things that made us fall in love with the sport. At Vintage Jerseys and Hats, tweets, Sunday swinging 70s logo NFL helmets. Which teams should go back to this? I got to tell you, I don't see a one of them on there I don't like better. Many of them are the same. The Cowboys hasn't changed. The Bears hasn't changed. A few of the others. Of the ones that have changed, I'm going to say 90% of them were better back in the day. Mel?
I'll tell you what, I loved Houston. Love the Houston Oiler uniform. That was tremendous. And I'll tell you, the Falcons wear that helmet once in a while. I'd wear it all the time. I love that Falcon helmet. Love the Houston Oilers. And I'll tell you, looking at that group right now, I already mentioned the Rams as the helmet. I really loved. I think there's one other one up there that's interesting. It's the Dallas Cowboys, but the colors of the years with Roger Staubach. Those colors, that color scheme I like better than some of the color scheme we see with the Cowboys now. Helmet same, but the color scheme of the Cowboys back in the day I like better. But that Falcon helmet, I'll tell you what, how about that Eagle helmet?
Yeah, pretty sweet.
Eagle helmet's pretty sharp too.
I agree. I say maybe the only one that I don't think is better then than it is now is the Bengals. I don't know that I love just the name printed across the helmet and big block letters. But other than that, I would maybe argue the rest of them we should turn back the clock on and just go right back to where things were in the 70s.
That's what I'm saying.
Is that what I missed out on in the 70s when I wasn't alive?
And that Patriot helmet was outstanding.
Patriots, awesome. Bills, awesome. All the helmets are better. Listen, it is a common theme amongst those of us who are getting older. Field, cover your ears because you don't apply, but Mel and I do. Everything was better then. Everything was better then. It's our job to pretend that isn't the case, but the reality is it just was. Field, you and everyone your age, you missed all the good stuff. Best of luck to you with the rest of it. All right, that's it for this special edition of First Draft. Don't forget, scan the QR code, like and subscribe to the podcast. Be with us Monday. You will not want to miss Monday. It's our last show of the season. We will have draft grades. We'll put a bow on what has been an amazing college football, NFL, and draft season.
Hey, by the way, Greeny.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Kim Kiper. Field Yates share the same birthday.
Oh!
April 23rd. Young Fielding is no longer young Fielding.
Not young anymore. Old Fielding.
Happy
Very
birthday,
nice.
my friend. That hair's at the bad. It looks like you're at 18. But happy birthday. What are you, 38?
38.
Yeah.
Big
Feeling
day.
great.
Oh, he's rapidly becoming old Fielding.
Chapin's going to have Chapin's going to have a feast waiting for you when you get back home.
Oh, man, I hope so.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, well done. Anyway, don't forget, send us your questions using the hashtag FirstDraft for a chance to be featured on the program. Monday will be a huge day. This whole weekend should be spectacular. We hope you will enjoy all of the coverage, and we'll see you Monday for Mel and for Old Fielding. I am Greeny. Enjoy the draft. We'll be back here on Monday.